Hello everyone and welcome to Fox 10 News Now. I'm Kinsey Schofield and happy July. Thank you so much for joining. I know it takes a minute to fill the chat room, so I have prepared with you our Fox 10 News Now Facebook update. Today it stars, you usually get either John Hook or Carrie Lake, and today it stars Miss Carrie Lake, or no, John Hook. Who just stepped out for lunch or dinner. So I will play that for you while the chat room fills up and we get some viewers in the room, and then we will start talking about this missing Maricopa couple and some of the developments that we got in today. So we will do that. Where's my News Now update? Here we go.
I'm John Hook with your Fox 10 Facebook update. Fireworks are now illegal in most Valley cities, but firefighters warn that doesn't mean fireworks are safe. Today they demonstrated how quickly things can go wrong.
Make sure you have adult supervision. Dude away from any houses or combustible material. Make sure you're on concrete or dirt. Make sure you have a water supply nearby in case something does go wrong and you're able to actually put out that firework.
Doctors say sometimes people suffer burns and lost limbs, and sparklers can be dangerous as well. Temperatures can reach 1,000 degrees. Those setting off fireworks are urged to use extreme caution. In Mesa, firefighters use Fido bags, rescuing 2 dogs from a burning home. A car fire near Brown and Mesa sent flames spreading into the attic of a home. Dogs were treated for smoke inhalation with oxygen masks made especially for pets. Chandler police are following up on tips about a serial flasher who's exposed himself to a number of people near the Western Canal off Alma School. Officers passing out posters of the suspect, hoping to identify him. Macy says it's no longer going to carry Donald Trump merchandise because of his comments about Mexican immigrants. Rapper Flo Rida among the latest performers to drop out of the Miss USA pageant. Trump referred to some Mexican immigrants as rapists and criminals who bring drugs into the U.S. when announcing his run for president. Meantime, TV Land has pulled reruns of Dukes of Hazzard from its lineup because of the Confederate flag on the car in the 1980s TV show. This comes in the wake of calls to take down the Confederate flag. Arizona Senator John McCain takes a ball in the lap during last night's Diamondbacks game against the LA Dodgers. The foul ball hit by Dodgers shortstop Jimmy Rollins. High temps in the Valley heading into the 4th of July weekend with a good chance of thunderstorms and rain on Sunday. I'm John Hook. That's your Fox 10 Facebook update.
I had somebody complain about my volume, so I have both mics on me, so let me know in the chat room if you can hear, but I've got both mics in my direction, so hopefully you can pick up my sound better. Let's see, that's the first time I've seen the John McCain video, and that was amazing. That was amazing footage. I saw it written on the board earlier in our meeting where we determined what we're going to talk about that day, and I wondered what it meant. Here, look at this again. This is too fun. And look, he looks like he's thrilled. No concerns, not a concern in the world. And I love his wife's haircut. Thank you, Beverly. Beverly says she can hear now. What I'm going to go straight into is there's a press conference held earlier today. It was at 3 o'clock by the family of the missing couple out of Maricopa. I've watched a little bit of it. I haven't watched it completely, but we are going to watch that right now. We'll revisit the 911 call. I have a package here from Nicole about it, and hopefully Nicole will come in and talk to us about it when she gets back. She's out in the field right now. And I know that Nicole was also talking to the PI, but I haven't seen any of that footage yet. Hopefully we can find that as well. But a lot of new developments today in this missing couple from Maricopa. And I don't know if you've seen, but this has become national news. People magazine covering it, CNN covering it. So a lot of interest in this story. People want answers. Let's watch that press conference right now. Again, this was at 3 p.m. today. This was outside of the family home.
Day one, otherwise they'd be here with us right now. Anything prepared?
Can we start with just the family and how you're doing after hearing that foul play is likely in this?
Yeah, we knew that from day one. Otherwise they'd be here with us right now. We're just glad that this case seems to be getting elevated. Hopefully that'll give us more resources and they'll devote more time to it and we can get some answers.
How's the family doing?
Just like you would expect, it's a roller coaster of emotions. We go through the cycle of hope and disappointment, and we're just trying to keep busy and trying to do what we can do to help the sheriffs and get them found.
Does the fact that they're now investigating, this is a criminal investigation, the sheriff, after so many days saying they believe foul play was involved, does that diminish your hopes that you will find Mike and Tina alive?
No, like I said, we knew there was foul play from the get-go. There's no reason why they wouldn't come home or be missing or not contact us. So we knew that there was something going on.
And when you say you knew there was foul play, it's not that you knew some specific event had happened, just that they're not the kind of people to disappear. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Jeff, you reach a little tear right now. Is there frustration with the family, police effort?
There is, just because they're not able to give us a whole lot of information, which is understandable. We wish they could share more with us, and it is kind of frustrating not to have information, but at the same time, we realize that that's the nature of the investigation here. You can't really share too much.
Jeff, we know that they started a search warrant on the house as well as the car. Do you believe that they found evidence that is helping them in this case that they're just not able to share with you?
That's my hope. I would hope they would have found something in the car. The house hasn't been searched thoroughly. I know they've been up in their room, but we're happy to let them do whatever they need to do to get them found. So
there's also a ton of speculation, so many stories. Everybody has a theory. Is there anything that's out there that you either want to support or dispel?
Nothing really makes sense, so it's kind of hard for me to say exactly what I think at this point. We come up with all kinds of scenarios late at night trying to figure out what it could have possibly have been, but all I know is they were here Sunday night and not here Monday morning.
And in terms of those theories, just the proximity of this house to what is a fairly well-known drug corridor over in the Beagle Valley, a lot of people have said, there's lots of bad stuff that goes on there. Mike and Tina may have fallen cross paths with someone, doing business in that area. Is that part of your thinking, and do you think there's any validity to that?
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. One that's not very fun to think about, but there is a lot of traffic through the Beagle Valley with illegal activity, and a lot of bad people are.
Wow, interesting developments here right now. Breaking. MCSO confirms person of interest in custody, male, being questioned, no arrest. While I pause this because they're digging a hole on this property that they were earlier looking. This is the property that, of course it freezes right when I go there. So give me a moment. I'm going to go back to this. They are currently digging a hole on this property. Yeah. We're flying over them, digging a hole in the yard where they just issued a search warrant in this missing couple. Of course, we are having technical difficulties with Skyfox, but we are going to stay on top of this. Yes, sir. All right, I'm getting information right now as it's happening, so pardon me if I cut in and cut out. I want to confirm things before I give them to you. This is at a neighborhood home. There was a search warrant issued to this house earlier today. We are currently looking at them digging a hole in this yard. They confirm that they have a person of interest in custody. It's a man, and he is currently being interviewed, but there are no arrests. So I'm going, while we watch this, I might put this press conference in the corner and play the audio so that we can watch all this stuff happening live. But these are some, I've got goosebumps right now. These are very upsetting new developments in regards to this missing Maricopa couple. I'm going to, on the other side, or while I'm talking to you, I'm also going to pull up this interview with the PI and try to find that Nicole got earlier so I can show that to you in full as well. This is the PI that the brother of one of the supposed victims. Oh, no. Don't put the tent up. They're trying to put the tent up. Yeah, they're trying to block us. Ugh. Wow, this is interesting. So I'm going to pull this interview with the PI. This is the PI that one of the supposed victim, his brother hired. The children of the victim, though, not too fond of this man, apparently. But I'm going to pull that video. We're going to continue to watch this dig. Hopefully, isn't that fascinating? I wish we had a police officer to talk to ask why they're doing this. Did they come upon something and that's why they want to cover it up? Are they doing it just as a precaution? But we got a lot more video tonight between the press conference, interview with the PI. We can listen to that 911 call again. Nicole hopefully will be in before the 9 o'clock hour and we can discuss some of this with her. But this is live developing now, fascinating story out of Maricopa, missing couple that really has the nation's attention at this point. People magazine covering it, CNN was talking about it earlier today, and we are watching this live. They're digging for something on this property, and you can only imagine what that is. Isn't it fascinating the way they're trying to, the way that they brought in a wheelbarrow. Oh my gosh. This is fascinating. The way they are using this tent to cover up so the chopper can't see what they're doing. They've brought in a wheelbarrow. Chopper moving. Oh my goodness. And we've temporarily lost that feed. Oh, yeah, there it goes. If you're just now joining us, what we are currently looking at is the home that was, we saw police begin. This was an investigation that started hours ago. A search warrant was issued at a neighborhood home just hours ago. And towards the end of the afternoon broadcast at about 5:30, when I shut it down, I watched the police officers take a very sweet and friendly dog off the property. And now we're looking at them digging a hole on this property. And you can only imagine what they are looking for. They did bring a tent out and intentionally block our helicopter. Our helicopter changed locations. And so this is absolutely fascinating to watch this unfold live here on News Now. But what I do have for you in addition to this throughout the evening is we're going to watch that press conference in full by the family member. That was held outside the family's home at 3 p.m. today. We have that 911 call made by the son. We have Nicole, some live shots from Nicole earlier today as the day progressed. She gave us updates throughout the day here on News Now, and I grabbed those. And right now I'm looking for this interview she did with the PI earlier in the afternoon. This is the private investigator hired by the uncle of the it's the uncle of the stepson that called 911. The children, however, of the victims haven't really said nice things about this private investigator. In fact, they say that he's not a real private investigator, and they've been very vocal about their distaste for him via social media, and I have some screen grabs of that to show you as well. But right now we are looking at live video from what appears to be a possible crime scene.
Hello, sorry for that wait. How can I help you?
It's all good. I'm filing a missing persons report.
Where's the person missing from?
West Mayor Boulevard, 85139.
Mayor Boulevard in the city of Maricopa?
Yeah. Well, it's in Thunderbird Park.
Right.
Yeah.
The area, I should say, of Maricopa.
Yeah.
How old is the person that was missing?
He's 44.
44-year-old. Is this your father? Or?
Yes.
And he's missing since when?
5 o'clock this morning.
Is there a particular reason why you're trying to report him missing?
Because I'm worried about him and I want him. Yeah, their phones are off. You know, they've been gone for 12 hours now, and, you know.
And any weapons or any injuries involved with this that you know of?
No.
What was your name? Last name? Phone number for you, bud?
Yes.
Okay. Your father, did he leave in any sort of vehicle?
Yeah, he left in a 2008 Honda Accord.
What color?
Grayish. Yeah, dark gray. I have the VIN number too, if you need that.
You don't have the actual plate for it, though?
No, I do not.
Go ahead with the VIN then.
The VIN is,
Give me just a second, okay, bud?
okay.
Did he leave with anyone? Sir?
Yep.
Did he leave with anyone?
Yes. He left with his wife.
What's your father's name? What's his date of birth? Do you know it? And that makes him 44 years old. Is he white, black, or Hispanic?
White.
Do you know what color shirt and pants he was wearing last?
No, I do not.
How tall and how much does your father weigh?
He's 5'10", 180 pounds.
What color hair and eyes does he have?
Black hair, blue or brown eyes.
Does he have any visible scars, marks, or tattoos?
No.
Give me just a moment.
Okay.
I'm just going to add this to the call real quick. And is
Yeah.
that your mother or stepmother?
Stepmother.
What's her name? What's her date of
Yeah.
birth? Do you know it?
No, I do not know her date of birth.
How old is she?
14.
I'm sorry? How old?
Yeah, I think she's 42.
42 years old. Is she white, black, or
Yeah.
Hispanic?
White.
And what color shirt and pants was she wearing? Do you know?
No.
How tall and how much does she weigh?
She's 5'8", 140 pounds.
Okay, and what color hair and eyes does she have?
Blonde hair, brown eyes.
Does she have any visible scars, marks, or tattoos?
No, she does not.
Okay. Alrighty, I do have this in. We're going to get a deputy out to where you are.
Okay.
I want to call and talk to you, okay?
Okay.
Just sit tight and wait for the deputies. If you get any more new information or anything like that, of course, give us a call back.
Okay, and so you guys gonna send? Because I think he was headed to Chandler. I know that, so I'm sure he's in that general area or somewhere. So, are you guys gonna send out like a memo of the car or?
I'm not certain on what you mean by that.
Are you guys gonna send out like a description of the car and like to the Chandler Police Department and all the other, police?
That's up to the deputies on how they want to handle this situation, if they want us to get that over or not.
Okay.
They're the kind of the ones that direct all of that, okay?
All right. All right.
Thank you, bud.
Yep.
All right, bye-bye.
That was the 911 call made by the son of Michael, one of the missing individuals that they are currently searching for. We are watching them dig in a yard that could quite possibly, be looking at a crime scene right now. PCSO confirms a person of interest is in custody, a male, and he's currently being questioned. However, there have been no arrests made so far. But what you just heard was the initial 911 call made by the son. While we look at these images, let's pull up that press conference that happened earlier today at 3 o'clock by the family. The family held this press conference. As long as we keep this view, I can keep the family in the box, but if we lose this view, I might have to switch over and we might just do audio over the visuals.
Meantime, the search for...
Oh, wrong video. Give me 2 seconds to pull this up. I'm going to pull this video from the press conference into the little box.
Can we start with just the family and how you're doing after hearing that foul play is likely in this?
You know, we knew that from day one. Otherwise, they'd be here with us right now. You know, we're just glad that this case seems to be getting elevated. Hopefully, that'll give us more resources and they'll devote more time to it, and we can get some answers.
How's the family doing?
You know, just like you would expect, it's a roller coaster of emotions. You know, we go through the cycle of hope and disappointment, and we're just trying to keep busy and trying to do what we can do to help the sheriffs and get them found.
Does the fact that they're now investigating, this is a criminal investigation, the sheriff, after so many days saying they believe foul play was involved, does that diminish your hopes that you will find Mike and Tina alive?
No, like I said, we knew there was foul play from the get-go. There's no reason why they wouldn't come home or be missing or not contact us. So we knew that there was something going on.
And when you say you knew there was foul play, it's not that you knew some specific event had happened, just that they're not the kind of people to disappear. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Jeff, you're reaching a little to your right now. Is there frustration with the family, police effort?
There is, just because they're not able to give us a whole lot of information, which is understandable. You know, we wish they could share more with us, and it is kind of frustrating not to have information, but at the same time, we realize that that's the nature of the investigation here. You can't really share too much.
Jeff, we know that they started a search warrant on the house as well as the car. Do you believe that they found evidence that is helping them in this case that they're just not able to share with you?
That's my hope. I would hope they would have found something in the car. The house hasn't been searched thoroughly. I know they've been up in their room, but you know, we're happy to let them do whatever they need to do to get them found. So
there's also a ton of speculation, so many stories. Everybody has a theory. Is there anything that's out there that you either want to support or dispel?
Nothing really makes sense, so it's kind of hard for me to say exactly what I think at this point. We come up with all kinds of scenarios late at night trying to figure out what it could have possibly have been, but all I know is they were here Sunday night and not here Monday morning.
And in terms of those theories, just the proximity of this house to what is a fairly well-known drug corridor over in the Beagle Valley, a lot of people have said, you know, there's lots of bad stuff that goes on there. Mike and Tina may have fallen and crossed paths with someone, you know, doing business in that area. Is that part of your thinking, and do you think there's any validity to that?
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility, one that's not very fun to think about, but you know, there is a lot of traffic through the Beagle Valley, with illegal activity, and a lot of bad people around here. So.
And there's nothing that they would have been doing to bring them into into some sort of contact with those people, is there?
No.
Jeff, do you get the sense, being on the inside, from the outside, we are kind of getting the sense that this is kind of a family divided, that there's Tina's side of the family and Mike's side of the family. Is that what's going on from the inside as well?
No, I'm in constant contact with Tina's siblings. Trying to keep them updated. They live in Mesa, so it's difficult, for them to come down here on a daily basis. We're here, so it's easy for us to jump in and run around in the desert looking for them. But they're up in Mesa, and I try to keep them updated. But yeah, we're in communication.
And speaking with Tina's brother, he wants to increase the reward significantly. Are you supportive of that?
We've been advised not to do that. For reasons, because if it is some sort of situation where it's a kidnapping, ransom type of deal, that you don't want to, it would just delay their return. So we've been advised not to do that. I don't know what Mike.
Do you see that they're taking pictures? Oh, we just lost it, but are you seeing them taking pictures of, come back, Skyfox, please. They're taking photos, which I think is fascinating. Look at that. I'm going to move this real quick for you. Photographer on the ground. Oh my gosh. What are we watching? This is so...
Who's he's talking to, but...
By police?
No, not by law enforcement, but by some private investigators and some other people that we know. So.
Do you have any reason to believe this might be a kidnapping?
I have no reason to believe it would or would not. We just don't have any information. That's what's so frustrating. So.
And was it typical of Tina to leave her work that early in the morning?
No, Tina actually works for Tom across the street over there. So she was running an errand for Tom that morning. It was a kind of a special deal. She doesn't usually go up to Mesa every day.
And is everything that she would have taken with her gone? I mean, her purse, the car keys, everything's gone?
No, her purse was up in the room.
Would it have been typical of her to leave without her purse?
Yes, the item that she was supposed to deliver up to Mesa for Tom was still in her purse. So we don't think she ever set out.
So that's very suspicious then. The fact that she left the house without her purse and with something she was supposed to deliver.
Correct, yeah.
Where do you think Michael was? Was he with her?
He was likely to be with her. I don't,
Did he give her a ride?
They were supposed to leave together in the morning on Monday.
So that was the plan?
Yes.
So right off the bat, when they were missing, something wasn't right because her purse was there.
Yes.
Did Michael typically leave Tina at work? I know she was quite nearby here in the country, but was he currently employed?
He is on long-term disability. He's a commercial airline pilot. So he didn't have a place that he needed to go every day. But
how has the Renova Farms and Maricopa Opportunity Community helped in the past 10 days? Is there anything you'd like to say to them?
I've got such a long list of thank yous. We'd be here all night. This is a great community. We've had hundreds and hundreds of volunteers out there combing the desert in this extreme heat. We've had people donating supplies and time and energy, and it's been a really touching thing to see and to feel that the community would come together for us like that.
Jeff, what you just said then brings me back then to Sunday night. If they didn't leave with the intent to do what you all thought they were supposed to do Monday morning, this brings me back to Sunday night. What all was going on here? Was there anybody suspicious? Was there any kind of an argument? Was there anybody that you guys didn't know around? I think we're having a party or a Father's Day gathering.
Yeah, we were all gathered around for Father's Day. There was nothing suspicious. That's another part of the mystery.
But was anybody here that was not known to the family or not well known to the family?
No.
Was it just family members?
No, there were other people here, but nobody that we don't know.
Jeff, a private investigator had mentioned that Tina had come into some amount of money through an inheritance. motive, or was that talked about?
It was. I really don't think it's a motive. I don't think it was that much, but her mom did just pass, and I know they had a little bit of an inheritance that they were going to use as a down payment on a home for. They own the lot next door here, and they're going to buy a mobile home to finish the construction next door. So.
And I understand there are about a dozen people who live on this property that maybe go in and out that have been questioned by investigators.
Yeah, there's two families currently living here right now, us and the Correccias. We live here, and they bought the lot next door. Grandma lives in the guest house, so it's kind of a neat little compound. We're always together, and we're a really close family. So.
And with all the people out here on the property, in the days leading up to the disappearance, nobody kind of sounded an alarm that saying any suspicious behavior, suspicious people hanging around?
No.
Jeff, if I recall, earlier in the week, you had mentioned that they had mentioned they were going to leave early to take some items and do it to errands for their Tina's boss. But nobody really saw them leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. So when and who was the last person to see them Sunday night?
I don't know who the last person to see them Sunday night was. It was, one of the family, probably in the kitchen. But I had gone to bed and around 10:30, and they just weren't there in the morning.
So, but in terms of the timetable, the last time anybody can say they saw Mike and Tina alive, well, and at this home was Sunday night. So this idea of them being seen or them leaving it Monday is sort of speculative.
Yes.
They could have left earlier.
Yes.
The hiring of the PI, is that something that's frustrating for the family, from what he's been saying?
Yeah, that was one of Tina's siblings, Mike, that hired that PI, and I don't really agree with a lot of the stuff that he's been saying in interviews. So.
What has he said that you guys don't like?
He's just made some disparaging suppositions about what might have happened. So, and I don't really like the light that he's trying to cast.
Jeff, are you concerned now that with the sheriff's office now saying we think it's a criminal matter, foul play was involved, that the efforts of your sort of grassroots search efforts may suffer because if people are going to say, you know what, why search anymore? First of all, are you going to continue the search, and are you concerned what message that may send?
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest, but yeah, we're continuing. We still had some support today. We've got areas that, even though we've covered, vast amounts of this desert around us here with all these awesome volunteers, we still have things that we need to check out and areas that need to be recombed, just depending on little information that comes in for us. So.
Jeff, do you know if volunteers have searched the valley?
No, I don't. That's kind of a dangerous area that we don't really want to send volunteers to. But as far as I know, the Border Patrol and the Pinal County Sheriffs have taken that area.
What is your gut feeling? I mean, you said the family suspected all along foul play. What's the general consensus of what could have happened?
I'm not sure. Wrong place, wrong time. We don't know. We need answers.
You had mentioned private investigators. How many private investigators have been hired? There's the one that's been speaking out that's been hired by Tina's side. Is there one or two more that's been hired by other family members?
No.
Just the one?
Yeah.
And that was the one that said advised you not to up the reward?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
You said earlier that private investigators had advised the family not to increase the reward?
No, it wasn't. There were some private investigators that approached us, but we haven't hired anybody.
Oh, so it's just the one that's been hired by Tina?
Yes.
And he came out at one point and even went as far to speculate as maybe drugs could have been a motive or played a role in the disappearance.
Yeah, I don't know that. We have lived in the same house together with them for 2 years, and I know that's not the case. So.
Do you have any idea what the sheriff is going to say Friday morning at his 7 a.m. press conference?
No, I wasn't aware of it, but I'll be tuning in.
Bottom line, Jeff?
The bottom line is let's, get the sheriff's in gear and let's get going. get some answers and find out what happened and get them home.
But as far as them making this very public statement and an official shift in this case from missing person to criminal investigation, that comes as no surprise to you.
No, it comes with a little bit of excitement, actually. We're happy about it, and we're hoping it brings a little expedition to the case.
Jeff, can I ask you, since it's now a criminal matter, in your opinion or anyone in your family, is there anyone who lives in the area that would make you feel?
I temporarily took the video down because I see the camera Skyfox moving about, and I don't want to block the scene. I don't want us to miss anything. So I temporarily removed the press conference from earlier with the missing couple's family, trying to determine if Skyfox is leaving right now. If they are leaving, it's likely, hopefully if they're leaving, it's to refuel, but I haven't received any word that they are leaving. What I can tell you is PCSO confirms a person of interest is currently in custody. It is a male. He's being questioned at this time, but so far there are no arrests. We've been watching this now for 45 minutes. They've been digging in this yard. There was a search warrant issued. This is a neighborhood home. And there was a search warrant issued for this home, I would say 2 or maybe 3 hours ago. So this is developing very quickly.
Fearful to say or share some detail about this story for the public?
No, I'm sure there are criminal elements out there, but nobody that would scare me away from saying anything that I thought would be beneficial.
I understand that at the Mother's Day celebration, there may have been someone who was particularly interested in Mike's skills as a commercial pilot. Tell me about that.
It's a friend of ours, Jose Valenzuela. He's a friend of my father's, and he expressed some interest, but that's about all I know.
About his job in general, or
personal conversation.
Was that person himself considered applying, or just about the job? Or?
I'm not sure what they were talking about.
Do you know if Mike and Tina attended a party Sunday night on their property, maybe at the Crabtree?
No, I don't know. I know it probably wasn't the Crabtrees, because we've talked to him since. So.
Has any member of the family or friends that are close to the family been subject to a lie detector test in this investigation?
No.
Not even maybe a step outside the family, just people you know, acquaintances, anything that you know about?
Not that I know of.
Do you believe, Jeff, that everybody, your family, friends, close contacts who had the Arizona site president are being forthright?
Well, I don't know who all they've interviewed, but I know everybody in this house is.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Anything else you want to say, Jeff?
No, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Such a resourceful bunch of journalists here in Phoenix, huh? Tape, clamps, and a light post. That's all you need.
Anything prepared?
Can we start with just the family and how you're doing after hearing that?
Meantime, the search for a missing couple in Pinal County is now in its third day. Tina and Michael Correcchia were last seen Monday morning. Their car found abandoned later that night.
Today, volunteers search for the couple on foot and by air, their family not giving up hope that the couple will be found. Mark Martinez spoke with some of those search volunteers.
For a second day in a row,
between all of us, we should be able to hit all those streets pretty easy.
Friends, family, and even those who've never met Michael or Tina Correcchia gather at the Raceway Bar and Grill.
So don't get crazy, and if it's dangerous, just turn around and come back. We'll all touch base with each other. We're going to go all the way to Robin Road.
Organizing search parties for the Maricopa couple missing since Monday morning.
We started early this morning. We've been out here since 5. We've had one group of 12 already come back. They're resting right now.
Rita Hernandez, one of the many people helping to organize the search.
We're just friends that, love this family and have all pulled together. The community has helped us. They have really come together out here.
Dozens of volunteers hit the dusty roads around Maricopa in triple-digit heat.
And you're going to take street number 2, and then the next street we'll take.
Looking for any sign of Mike and Tina.
Not even sure what we're looking for. And to tell you the truth, we're just out here looking. It's until we find something that doesn't look right or something that's out of the ordinary. Until that time, we're just going up and down so we can mark this area off and move on to the next.
Gary and Sandy Hopkins are on a bowling league with the Correcchias, and like the other volunteers, they spent their Wednesday out looking for them.
If you go down here, there's nobody here, there's no lights, there's no nothing. So each one of these streets haven't been touched.
The search teams plan on staying out as late as they can, even using drones to search cornfields near the area where the couple's car was found Monday night.
If there's something to be found, we'll find it. If not, we'll start with another area.
We're just trying to bring Mike and Tina home.
Now County Sheriff's deputies serve a search warrant on a house in Maricopa. Sky Fox live over the scene, and it's right next to the home where Michael and Tina Correcchia lived. The couple has not been seen now for more than a week.
Well, today, the family of the missing Maricopa couple, they're speaking out about their disappearance.
And just yesterday, investigators say they now suspect foul play in this case.
Fox 10's Nicole Garcia is live in Maricopa with what the family is saying. Nicole, have you learned any new information today?
What we know right now is this is the biggest break in the case so far. Take a look behind me, more than a dozen Pinal County deputies on scene here. They've been serving.
Give me a second. I'm going to move this box so that you can see you can see what the detectives are up to right now. I'm going to just temporarily move that box. I will add it back up there when there's space. But as you saw for yourself just a moment ago, these detectives are moving the tent to try to block our view and are very... Oh, look, they're continuing to do it. Trying to block our view. These pilots are continuing to move around the tent, but we hopefully can stay on this for a little while longer, and they'll hopefully adjust to wherever these detectives are moving the tent.
A search warrant at a property about a block away from where Tina and Mike Correcchia live. They've been here for about an hour now. And this location is about a block away from where the Correcchia's car was found abandoned more than a week ago. Now, Pinal County not really seeing many details on exactly what they are looking for right now, only saying that this is, quote, a critical juncture in the investigation. And just a few minutes ago, we did see crime scene investigators arrive here on scene, and usually forensic investigators only come to the scene when there is evidence to collect. So deputies have been here for over an hour now, being tight-lipped about exactly what they're looking for, but they may have found something they're interested in connection to the disappearance of Tina and Mike Correcchia. Now, just some background, the couple reported missing June 22nd, Monday of last week, so it's been 9 days now since they've been missing. Nobody's seen or heard from them since. The family says the couple was scheduled to drive to Mesa last Monday morning for a couple reasons. They say Tina had a doctor appointment, and she was also supposed to run an errand for her boss. She was supposed to deliver a flash drive to a person in Mesa on Monday, the day that they were reported missing. Family members say Tina's purse and that flash drive she was supposed to deliver, those were all found inside the home. So obviously that errand was never run, and Tina did not have her purse with her when she went missing along with her husband Mike. Now the car was found abandoned. It was found by family members abandoned about a mile away from where they live, and also about a mile away from where deputies are now serving a search warrant. Now, 1 week after the disappearance, Pinal County detectives declared this a criminal investigation, coming forward saying that they found evidence to believe foul play was involved. Family members spoke today to the media saying they've always believed foul play was involved in the disappearance, and they also say this has been a very emotional time for them.
It's a roller coaster of emotions. You know, we go through the cycle of hope and disappointment, and we're just trying to keep busy and trying to do what we can do to help the sheriffs and get them found.
Now again, this scene is just about a block away from where the Correccias live, and a few moments ago we saw a large group of family members come out here and just kind of look to see what was going on. Again, more than a dozen Pinal County deputies here on scene. They've even got their helicopter up in the air. We saw crime scene investigators arrive here just a few minutes ago, so definitely appears that there's a lot going on this property. We're at the 50,000 block of Papago Road, again, just about a block away from where the Correccias live. Deputies have been on scene here for about an hour, and we're going to keep our eye on what's going on here. And if we learn anything new, we'll bring that to you. Reporting live south of Maricopa, I'm Nicole Garcia, Fox 10 News.
Thank you, Nicole. We'll check.
This is footage from earlier today when the initial search warrant was issued. This is just down the street about a mile from where the search warrant was issued. What you're going to see throughout this footage is that we at FNN interviewed Nicole Garcia earlier today, almost immediately after the search warrant was issued, so about I'd say 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. But I'm not 100% on if you'll hear our questions to Nicole. So you might hear an awkward pause and then Nicole Garcia answering a question, but you might not hear the question. I'm not 100% on that, but you will see Nicole, and Nicole will give you additional details on this here in a few minutes. But this was initially footage we were taking outside the property immediately after that warrant was issued, the search warrant was issued, and you're going to see Nicole Garcia answering some questions, but you might not actually hear the questions, you might just hear Nicole's answer. And previously recorded footage is in the right-hand side is on the right-hand side of the screen, and that's going to be of Nicole out in the field answering some questions for FNN earlier. And keep in mind that PCSO has confirmed they do have a person of interest in custody. It's a male, and that he is being questioned, but there have been no arrests. What we are seeing right now is them digging in the yard of the location where the search warrant was issued. We could quite possibly be looking at the crime scene right now.
We got Bruce Hafner's little Penguin helicopter that we share with our buddies from 5. That's not me. I'm standing. Sorry, Ricky. No, that is you. Thanks, Ricky. Got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We may have, after 10 long days, we may have the first significant break in the disappearance of Mike and Tina Correccia. The Pinal County couple went missing a week ago last Monday. A large Pinal County Sheriff's personnel here on Walston Road, just north of Yeah,
Yes, the wind, Jeff. Here comes Nicole shortly. Hi, hi, hi. Yes, Nicole has changed. Nicole, we're live. Like we're live. Here, plug it. You gotta turn it on. Nicole's getting her IFB and she'll be right out.
Again, what you are about to see is some, in the corner box is Nicole answering questions on FNN earlier today. So you might not hear questions, but you will see the answer.
Hey guys. Okay. Hold on. Let me figure out this technical snag here.
And what you're, this is from about 2 hours ago. This is outside of the home. This is about a mile away from the actual scene. But this is as the story was developing earlier today. But what the large box you're currently looking at is live footage of them digging at what could potentially be a crime scene.
Okay. Hi guys. I could hear you. Yes, apologize for those technical difficulties. But let's just get straight to the point. So there is a search warrant that's being served right now at a home here on the 5,000 block of Papago Road, which is basically around the corner from the house where Tina and Mike Correcchia lived. And this search warrant is being served as we speak, and that has been confirmed by Pinal County Sheriff's the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. So we don't have much more information on exactly what they're searching for, but we do know that this is the general area where their car was found about over a week ago when they were first reported missing. And this is all happening just moments after family members had organized a news conference to talk to the media about and comment about the update in the case. The Pinal County Sheriff's Office just announcing yesterday that they do believe foul play is involved in the disappearance of Tina and Mike Correcchia. They have been missing for more than a week now. Family members say they were last seen last Sunday evening, and they were supposed to be on their way, or they were supposed to go to Mesa Monday morning to run an errand and for a doctor's appointment, but apparently that errand was never run and they never made it, and a family member reported them missing about 5 o'clock Monday evening when the couple didn't come home. And so for about a week now, the Sheriff's Department has just classified this as a missing persons case, and just yesterday they reclassified it to say this is now a criminal investigation and they believe foul play is involved. And again, just moments after this news conference wrapped up, Pinal County Sheriff's deputies are serving a search warrant at a home at the 5,000 block of Papago Road, which is literally around the corner from where the Correcchias live. This street is also the area where the Correcchia's car was found more than a week ago. So, again, it looks like a huge break in the case. We don't know the details of exactly what they're looking for, but deputies are here on scene. There are several deputies on scene. They've got this road blocked. And so we're going to be standing by to see what they're looking for, and eventually, hopefully, we'll get an update on what they find.
This is the biggest show of law enforcement force that we have seen out here in 10 days.
And here, Nicole's actually listening to a question. We can't hear that question, but she's listening for a question asked on the earlier program. And just give her a moment, and she will respond to that question.
Okay, and I apologize because you are breaking up, but I did hear your last request. And yeah, the family just kind of came forward the day after the Sheriff's Department declared that this is now a criminal investigation. And they just came forward just to kind of comment on that particular update, saying that they knew all along that something was amiss, that there must have been foul play involved in this couple's disappearance. Again, several reporters asked questions of what family members think might have happened to them, what they may have been involved in, and the family really just saying they have no idea. Family members saying it was Jeff Dugan, who is Mike's brother-in-law, who gave this news conference, and he pretty much says that he doesn't believe anybody within the family is involved in the disappearance, and really gave no clue as to what kind of foul play he thinks may have been involved. Now, the property where the Correccias live, is a pretty big property. We're out in south of Maricopa, so this is a very rural area. So the property and the home where they were living is a fairly huge property, and there were two families living in the home, and about 10 people living in that home, with the Correccias. So Jeff Dugan, again, the brother-in-law of Mike, the missing man, is saying that they don't believe any family members are involved, and they have no idea what happened to them, and they really still are keeping hope and hoping that they will find the couple alive.
This is Nicole being asked a question, but we don't know what that question is. This is Nicole's footage in the corner here is just from a few hours ago, live at the scene. She's right outside of what we're currently looking at. On the larger screen, this is live video from what is expected. I mean, look at all of those trucks. Let me remove Nicole for 2 seconds. Look at all of those trucks right there. There was a search warrant issued earlier today at this home.
Certainly, investigators aren't giving anything away as to what they're looking for and who they might have interviewed, but I did ask Jeff Dugan about that inheritance. He made it seem like it was a few $1,000s, not a large sum of money, so he didn't believe that an inheritance could have been a motive for the disappearance. Again, sheriffs, deputies, really not divulging much on who they think might be involved or what they think might have happened. And really just the search warrant being served here is really kind of the biggest break that we've seen so far in the investigation. Yeah, thanks for bearing with me with all the wind and the wires. Yeah, see you guys then.
Yeah, Brandon, after 10 very long days.
And you can see here that we have officially lost Skyfox. Devastation ensues. I know we're going to get Skyfox back around 10, unfortunately. I don't know if FNN will be on around 10, but let me see if I pulled, and I haven't watched this yet, so we are going to be watching this together, and hopefully there are no swear words or anything in it. But Nicole earlier in the day, she sat down with this man. That the family during their press conference said that he was not their PI. They stated for the record that he was not their PI. However, this man claims he was hired by someone to be a private investigator for this particular case. So I'm going to pull up this interview right now. We're going to watch it together. And see what he has to say about this case, if he has discovered anything interesting.
Would this be television?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. As long as it's not live, they're gonna edit it.
Yeah,
They'll chop it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll chop it up. We'll cut down to like
10 seconds.
10, 15 seconds.
I've been on everybody's network this past week.
I bet you have.
It's been really tough.
Well, hopefully I won't beat you up too much.
Not anything with hell, but I would prefer Nicole to be here.
Yeah.
It's just that she's got to do what she's got to do. I understand.
She's got to go down there. First of all, let's start out with the really tough question, like, who are you?
Okay. Let me know when you're ready to record.
I'm wrong.
Okay, my name is Stan Williams. I'm a private investigator licensed by the state of Arizona. I'm originally from New York.
I can tell.
I was a veteran of 30 years on one of the police departments within New York, one of the transportation police departments. I was a detective for 8 of those 30 years.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Her first question on paper here is who hired you specifically, and why were you hired?
Okay, I was hired by Mike Perry, who is one of Tina's older brothers. And he and I have been friends since 2007. He asked me to help the family investigate the disappearance of his sister and his brother-in-law. And he also asked me to be a news spokesperson for the family as well.
What did that person think about the sheriff's ability to investigate this?
He hasn't really talked to me about the sheriff's or the sheriff's deputies' ability to investigate this. He wanted a perspective from an outsider that would be close to him and share information with him. The sheriff's department is not going to do that.
Very good. Does, in your investigation, have you made any conclusions yet? Do you look at one person over another?
I've spoken to a few people, and the people that I've spoken to have led me to believe that foul play is suspected from someone who lives in the house where Tina and Mike lived as well.
Does this make them a family member, the suspect?
They may not be related to Tina or Mike, however, they may be related to the owner of that house.
Okay. You said that earlier when you were on the phone that there were many people there that lived in that house. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
That's correct. I went down to Maricopa on Tuesday, and I was surprised at the large amount of vehicles that were parked in front of the house. I went into the house, and there were people of just about all ages. I found out later on that when Mike and Tina lived there, in addition to them, there were 12 other people who lived in that house. So that immediately became suspicious in my mind. 12 people, and no one saw or knew anything or came forward with any information about their disappearance. And they were smoking, I guess, electronic cigarettes, but it made me believe that that's not the only thing that they smoke, because there happened to be some detectives there. So in my mind, with the ages of those that I saw, I felt that could have been marijuana in there, could have been other drugs in there, other things that happened to cause this disappearance of this couple.
At this point, let me move this just a little bit closer. There you go. Give me something else different to look at.
Mm-hmm.
A little closer shot of yourself.
Okay. I hope nobody throws anything at this.
we won't use it for target practice.
Okay.
Let's see. Tell me about the son that dialed 911. Did it seem like he had any sense of urgency in his voice? Have you listened to the tapes?
Yes, and there doesn't seem to be any urgency. He's also spoken to some of the volunteers who were out searching the area for any type of evidence that they could find. And they've reported, some of them have reported back to me that there seems to be no concern with him. So that's extremely suspicious in my mind again, and it's another incident that would cause me to look further at who's in that house and what do they know.
What makes you believe that there might be foul play involved?
I've seen some of the things that have gone on in the area, and I suspect foul play. And also due to the fact that now they're missing over a week without any type of calls, any type of contact. Their vehicle was found, their cell phones were found. How could foul play not be suspected? These were reputable people. They, you know, she had a job, she had an accounting job, and he at one time was an airline pilot. So these are intelligent people who left behind 3 kids, probably not willing. So I certainly believe foul play was involved with this.
You said that you found the vehicle. I hear that this guy was very meticulous.
Right. I didn't find the vehicle. Okay. Someone else found the vehicle, and of course they brought it to the attention of the deputies, and I was told that he was very meticulous, very clean, and the vehicle was found very dirty, and that is certainly unlike him. The roads in that area are very rural. Some are paved and some are not paved. But I personally think that maybe someone else had been in that vehicle other than the 2 of them. And I'm hoping through the investigation that the sheriffs are conducting out there that evidence comes forth and they can explain why the vehicle was dirty and exactly what is in it.
Do you know anything about the couple's financial situation?
No, I really don't. I know only a little bit, but not anything in detail. I know that they were trying to buy property nearby to build, you know, their own home. They were looking to put a trailer or a pre-manufactured home out on some land that they purchased, and some of it was burned down without, you know, without them having adequate insurance. I also know that Tina came into a small inheritance a couple of months ago when several $1,000s when her mom passed away. So this knowledge too would be known by those that lived in that house. One could speculate, of course, during the course of any type of interaction with them that they had to know that too.
So you think foul play is involved?
Yeah, all of these things together make me think that there's definitely foul play involved. And of course, yesterday with the announcement that the sheriff had evidence of foul play only goes along with my thoughts on this investigation too.
Very good. I'm going to change this again just because I can. Let's see, let me see what else. Usually I'm asking questions on my feet, and this is the first.
That's because somebody else is doing it.
Let's see. Do you think the couple is still alive?
Absolutely not.
And why?
Well, again, it's been over a week since their reported disappearance. There's been no call for anyone for any sort of ransom, and the family is not in a position to afford to pay any type of ransom either. So it's my thinking, why would someone keep them alive? For what purpose? So I suspect foul play, and unfortunately, until proven otherwise, I don't think that they're alive.
So kidnapping is out, and geez, I don't know. About the only other question I need to ask you, and I need to change that again. Sorry. What's your gut feeling?
I think, I certainly hope that I've been wrong about everything that we discussed, and Tina and Mike show up and we all have a giant party afterwards. Realistically, that's not possible. I don't think it's going to happen. And the family and the community are going to have to accept the fact that they are deceased and live with it. Hopefully the sheriff is going to come up with the evidence that he needs to get an arrest warrant and arrest the guilty individual or individuals, because it could be certainly more than one as well.
Do you have any names yourself?
No, I can't really specify any names because that's very confidential, and we don't want someone to hear the information and the next thing you know, they're in Mexico or other places that are difficult to get to.
Realize I've got to ask the question and get
Certainly.
And get that response.
Certainly.
So, unless you think I have missed something, I think we're done.
The other theory that I have, or that could be possible, that area is not really too far from Mexico. There are known drug members around there, and drugs and illegal immigrants also are transported and go through that area, and there could be a possible connection that way. I'm told that Mike, the missing individual, did have a drug habit, so it could be possible that he was abducted by someone else. However, given all the circumstances and all the facts that I just told you, I don't think that that's the case. I think it's just another idea or speculation or opinion.
I know that Skull Valley is very close to them, just south, and that's a very high trafficking area for drugs. But it's kind of far. It's close between here and Phoenix. It's
But
close.
it's not too close.
But it's not too close. It's not a walking type thing.
No.
It would be, in cars or something like that. Anything else, sir?
There's nothing else that I can think of.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. That's us.
Okay.
We're not really on Adam Street, but
Now, this is just kind of some B-roll from the interview.
on Washington now.
A few minutes of them just kind of talking and him shooting some additional scenes for them to drop in the cleaned up interview if this ever makes air. I don't know if this will make air because there were some pretty salacious things just said just now.
Can you cheat a little bit towards me too? By let me have you scoot that way towards your
Over
left.
here?
Yeah, and then just scoot that way.
And scoot up?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Perfect.
I was looking to see if there was something on my website that got forwarded to me, but it hasn't.
Oh my God, he still uses America Online. Now this man just told us, this is Stan Williams, a private investigator. He told us that Tina's brother...
Something I want to type. Oh, yes.
He needs to dust his keyboard. Tina's brother is the one that hired him. He's a friend of his. And if you watched the press conference from earlier today, they said that no one there had hired a PI. They specifically stated that no one hired a PI. Let me see if I can find this Facebook status for you. Oh, there it is. We'll finish this and then this is going to be over in just a second.
Perfect.
This is again just B-roll that they grabbed for the, now look at this. This is the daughter. The PI that was hired to find, and this is a Facebook status update, the PI that was hired to find my parents by my uncle isn't even a real PI, and his interview with the news was disrespectful and completely incorrect. Some private investigator, how dare you actually get on the news and say things you know nothing about? If you were a real investigator, wouldn't you talk to me, the daughter of Tina? Please disregard what the man said on the news. And she made that comment on Monday at 5:41 because I am sure you heard him say initially at the beginning of that last interview we were just watching, he said that he'd been doing a marathon of media and he'd been on every news station and it was exhausting. So that is a Facebook status that she had posted. She's very unhappy with that PI. I don't know what his status is right now with the family. I mean, he's still doing interviews, but in the press conference, and here, let's pull that up. In the press conference, they said, absolutely not. We do not have a private investigator.
After hearing that foul play is likely in this?
Yeah. You know, we knew that from day one. Otherwise, they'd be here with us right now. You know, we're just glad that this case seems to be getting elevated. Hopefully, that'll give us more resources and they'll devote more time to it, and we can get some answers.
How's the family doing?
You know, just like you would expect, it's a roller coaster of emotions. You know, we go through the cycle of hope and disappointment, and we're just trying to keep busy and trying to do what we can do to help the sheriffs and get them found.
Does the fact that they're now investigating, this is a criminal investigation, the sheriff, after so many days saying they believe foul play was involved, does that diminish your hopes that you will find Mike and Tina alive?
No, like I said, we knew there was foul play from the get-go. There's no reason why they wouldn't come home or be missing or not contact us. So we knew that there was something going on.
And when you say you knew there was foul play, it's not that you knew some specific event had happened, just that they're not the kind of people to disappear. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Jeff, you're reaching a little to your right now. Is there frustration with the family, police effort?
There is, just because they're not able to give us a whole lot of information, which is understandable. You know, we wish they could share more with us, and it is kind of frustrating not to have information, but at the same time, we realize that that's the nature of the investigation here. You can't really share too much.
Jeff, we know that they started a search warrant on the house as well as the car. Do you believe that they found evidence that is helping them in this case that they're just not able to share with you?
That's my hope. I would hope they would have found something in the car. I don't. The house hasn't been searched thoroughly. I know they've been up in their room, but you know, we're happy to let them do whatever they need to do to get them found. So
there's also a ton of speculation, so many stories. Everybody has a theory. Is there anything that's out there that you either want to support or dispel?
Nothing really makes sense, so it's kind of hard for me to say exactly what I think at this point. We come up with all kinds of scenarios late at night trying to figure out what it could have possibly have been, but all I know is they were here Sunday night and not here Monday morning. And
in terms of those theories, just the proximity of this house to what is a fairly well-known drug corridor over in the Beagle Valley, a lot of people have said, you know, there's lots of bad stuff that goes on there. Mike and Tina may have fallen across paths with someone, you know, doing business in that area. Is that part of your thinking, and do you think there's any validity to that?
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility, one that's not very fun to think about, but you know, there is a lot of traffic through the Beagle Valley with illegal activity, and a lot of bad people around here. So.
And there's nothing that they would have been doing to bring them into into some sort of contact with those people, is there?
No.
Jeff, do you get the sense, being on the inside, from the outside, we are kind of getting the sense that this is kind of a family divided, that there's Tina's side of the family and Mike's side of the family. Is that what's going on from the inside as well?
No, I'm in constant contact with Tina's siblings. trying to keep them updated. They live in Mesa, so it's difficult, for them to come down here on a daily basis. We're here, so it's easy for us to jump in and run around in the desert looking for them. But they're up in Mesa, and I try to keep them updated. But yeah, we're in communication.
And speaking with Tina's brother, he wants to increase the reward significantly. Are you supportive of that?
We've been advised not to do that for reasons because if it is some sort of situation where it's a kidnapping, ransom type of deal, that you don't want to, it would just delay their return. So we've been advised not to do that. I don't know what who's he's talking to, but...
By police?
No, not by law enforcement, but by some private investigators and some other people that we know. So.
Do you have any reason to believe this might be a kidnapping?
I have no reason to believe it would or would not. We just don't have any information. That's what's so frustrating. So.
And was it typical of Tina to leave her work that early in the morning?
No, Tina actually works for Tom across the street over there. So she was running an errand for Tom that morning. It was a kind of a special deal. She doesn't usually go up to Mesa every day.
And is everything that she would have taken with her gone? I mean, her purse, the car keys, everything's gone?
No, her purse was up in the room.
Would it have been typical of her to leave without her purse?
Yes, the item that she was supposed to deliver up to Mesa for Tom was still in her purse. So we don't think she ever set out.
So that's very suspicious then. The fact that she left the house without her purse and with something she was supposed to deliver.
Correct, yeah.
And where do you think Michael was? Was he with her?
He was likely to be with her. I don't,
Giving her a ride?
They were supposed to leave together in the morning on Monday.
So that was the plan.
Yes.
So right off the bat, when they were missing, something wasn't right because her purse was there.
Yes.
Did Michael typically leave Tina for work? I know she wasn't quite nearby here in the country, but was he currently employed?
He is on long-term disability. He's a commercial airline pilot. So he didn't have a place that he needed to go every day. But
how has the Fenimore Farms and Maricopa opportunity community helped in the past 10 days? Is there anything you'd like to say to them?
I've got such a long list of thank yous. We'd be here all night. This is a great community. We've had hundreds and hundreds of volunteers out there combing the desert in this extreme heat. We've had people donating supplies and time and energy, and it's been a really touching thing to see and to feel that the community would come together for us like that.
Jeff, what you just said then brings me back then to Sunday night. If they didn't leave with the intent to do what you all thought they were supposed to do Monday morning, this brings me back to Sunday night. What all was going on here? Was there anybody suspicious? Was there any kind of an argument? Was there anybody that you guys didn't know around? I think we're having a party or a Father's Day gathering.
Yeah, we were all gathered around for Father's Day. There was nothing suspicious. That's another part of the mystery.
But was anybody here that was not known to the family or not well known to the family?
No.
Was it just family members?
No, there were other people here, but nobody that we don't know.
Jeff, a private investigator had mentioned that Tina had come into some amount of money for an inheritance. Do you think that could be kind of a motive, or was that talked about?
It was. I really don't think it's a motive. I don't think it was that much, but her mom did just pass, and I know they had a little bit of an inheritance that they were going to use as a down payment on a home for. They own the lot next door here, and they were going to buy a mobile home to finish the construction next door. So.
And I understand there are about a dozen people who live on this property that maybe go in and out that have been questioned by investigators.
Yeah, there's two families currently living here right now, us and the Careccias. We live here, and they bought the lot next door. Grandma lives in the guest house, so it's kind of a neat little compound. We're always together, and we're a really close family. So.
And with all the people on here on the property, in the days leading up to the disappearance, nobody kind of sounded an alarm that saying any suspicious behavior, suspicious people hanging around?
No.
Jeff, if I recall earlier in the week, you had mentioned that they had mentioned they were going to leave early to take some items but nobody really saw them leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. So when and who was the last person to see them Sunday night?
I don't know who the last person to see them Sunday night was. It was, one of the family, probably in the kitchen. But I had gone to bed and around 10:30, and they just weren't there in the morning.
So, but in terms of the timetable, the last time anybody could say they saw Mike and Tina alive, well, and at this home was Sunday night. So this idea of them being seen or them leaving it Monday is sort of speculative.
Yes.
They could have left earlier.
Yes.
The hiring of the PI, is that something that's frustrating for the family, from what he's been saying?
Yeah, that was one of Tina's siblings, Mike, that hired that PI, and I don't really agree with a lot of the stuff that he's been saying in interviews. So,
what has he said that you guys don't like?
He's just made some disparaging suppositions about what might have happened. So, and I don't really like the light that he's trying to cast.
Jeff, are you concerned now that with the sheriff's office now saying we think it's a criminal matter, foul play was involved, that the efforts of your sort of grassroots search efforts may suffer because if people are going to say, you know what, why search anymore? First of all, are you going to continue the search, and are you concerned what message that may send?
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest, but yeah, we're continuing. We still had some support today. We've got areas that, even though we've covered, vast amounts of this desert around us here with all these awesome volunteers, we still have things that we need to check out and areas that need to be recombed, just depending on little information that comes in for us. So.
Jeff, do you know if volunteers have searched Middle Valley?
No, I don't. That's kind of a dangerous area that we don't really want to send volunteers to. But as far as I know, the Border Patrol and the Pinal County Sheriffs have taken that area.
What is your gut feeling? I mean, you said the family suspected all along foul play. What's the general consensus of what could have happened?
I'm not sure. Wrong place, wrong time. We don't know. We need answers.
You had mentioned private investigators. How many private investigators have been hired? There's the one that's been speaking out that's been hired by Tina's side. Is there one or two more that's been hired by other family members?
No.
Just the one?
Yeah.
And that was the one that said advised not to up the reward?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
You said earlier that private investigators had advised the family not to increase the reward?
No, it wasn't. There were some private investigators that approached us, but we haven't hired anybody.
Oh, so it's just the one that's been verified?
Yes.
And he came out at one point and even went as far to speculate as maybe drugs could have been a motive or played a role in the disappearance.
Yeah, I don't know that. We have lived in the same house together with them for 2 years, and I know that's not the case. So.
Do you have any idea what the sheriff is going to say Friday morning at his 7 a.m. press conference?
No, I wasn't aware of it, but I'll be tuning in.
Bottom line, Jeff?
The bottom line is let's, get the sheriffs in gear and let's get going. Let's get some answers and find out what happened and get them home.
But as far as them making this very public statement and an official shift in this case from missing person to criminal investigation, that comes as no surprise to you?
No, it comes with a little bit of excitement, actually. We're happy about it, and we're hoping it brings a little expedition to the case.
Jeff, can I ask you, since it's now a criminal matter, in your opinion or anyone in your family, is there anyone who lives in the area that would make you feel fearful to say or share some detail about this story for the public?
No. No, I'm sure there are criminal elements out there, but nobody that would scare me away from saying anything that I thought would be beneficial.
I understand that the Father's Day celebration, there may have been someone who was particularly interested in Mike's skills as a commercial pilot on your left.
It's a friend of ours, Jose Valenzuela. He's a friend of my father's, and he expressed some interest, but that's about all I know.
What was the interest? Just about his job in general, or
Personal conversation.
was that person was it applying, or just about the job, or?
I'm not sure what they were talking about.
Do you know if Mike and Tina attended a party Sunday night on their property, maybe at the country?
No, I don't know. I know it probably wasn't the Crabtrees, because we've talked to him since. So.
Has any member of the family or friends that are close to the family been subject to a lie detector test in this investigation?
No.
But not even like maybe a step outside the family, just people you know, like is anything that you know about?
Not that I know of.
Do you believe, Jeff, that everybody in the family, friends, close contacts who has been interviewed by investigators are being completely forthright?
Well, I don't know who all they've interviewed, but I know everybody in this house is.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Anything else you want to say, Jeff?
No, I'm all right, thank you.
Thank you.
That was a press conference from earlier today. Keep in mind that was a direct contradiction from everything that the PI told us in the interview that took place right before this press conference. The PI told us that he felt like somebody in the house was directly related to the disappearance. The PI referenced that there might be drugs involved. And this young man said, none of that's true. There's no proof of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some earlier video for you to see if you missed the digging in the yard. We have them digging in the yard from earlier today. I have got a few minutes before the detectives put that. I've got a few minutes before the detectives put that tent up. Now this is from earlier. This is about 6:30 p.m. This evening. Our Skyfox camera caught detectives digging a hole where the search warrant was issued earlier today. This is near where the actual car was found the day that the couple went missing. And what is going to happen inevitably is that detectives realize that that they're onto something. Skyfox is watching, so they go and get a very large tent and start trying to block our view from what they're right here. Here we go. They bring the tent out to try to block our view, and you'll notice Skyfox will move, and at some point the detectives get savvy and start moving along with Skyfox. But this has all been unfolding so quickly here today, and it's hard to take that detective seriously after watching that press conference, because it felt like every single thing the PI, it's hard to take the PI seriously because it felt like every single thing the PI said was in direct contradiction to the family. He says he suspects someone in house. He says there might be drugs involved. And it was, I'm sure, particularly hurtful to the family that he's blatantly saying he believes that they're dead. That is what the PI is telling media, that he believes that the couple are dead. Later in the broadcast, we saw detectives pull out their cameras and start taking pictures of the hole. We see inevitably crime tape being rolled out. So we are currently watching this unfold. We're supposed to get some live footage around 10 p.m. And if we get word that they might have found something, or if we get word that it's good visuals, then we will hopefully be able to hold on this. Debbie asks what kind of dog they removed. Debbie, it looked to be a Labrador Retriever. It was a black dog. It seemed to have a sweet demeanor. The cops were kind of playful with it, and they'd put it on a leash and put it into, oh, here we go with the tent, and removed it from the scene. But the dog I saw removed earlier did seem to have a sweet demeanor. And this is footage from earlier in the evening. We're actually waiting. John Hook wants to come sit down and discuss this with us a little bit. This is a story that has us all very concerned and fascinated. He is voicing the 9 o'clock news right now, but he's going to head over in this direction when he is done prepping for his 9 p.m. show. Also, I mean, we also saw the warrant issued. We saw the warrant issued. Not only that, but PCSO confirmed just at 6:39 p.m. that a person of interest was in custody. It's a male, and he's currently being questioned. At that time, we had no arrest. I don't know if there is an arrest. We will let you know as soon as we do. But at that time, there was no arrest, and during that press conference, there was a name brought up. And I don't want to repeat it because I don't want to get in trouble if it turns out to be nothing, but there was a name brought up during the press conference. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll scoot over.
Sure,
so
sure.
What we're watching right now is, oh, I guess I can change that lower third because you're not coming up. You're here.
I'm here. Good to see you, Kenzie.
Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
This is what I've got is kind of a recap. This is the detectives digging for something.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like the story has unfolded so quickly today. These are detectives digging, and you'll notice throughout this video that, and I'll remove us so you can have a better view too. Throughout this video, detectives will move this tent to block us from seeing what's going on. But at one point, they completely stop what they're doing. They bring in a photographer, and they start taking photos of whatever it is they see. Unfortunately, Sky Fox needed to go get more gasoline, and we haven't had them since. So we don't know exactly what they saw, but it's haunting. I've been getting goosebumps up here watching this.
And this house is not the house of the family, but a house close by. Correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, this is just the forensic and investigative work that goes on in a case like this that they got to sort through. They must have a tip or an idea that something connected to this case is going on in that backyard. So, I mean, we can infer what we infer, but we'll just have to wait and see what they come up with.
And it's interesting because the sheriff is saying that he's going to have a press conference on Friday morning. Why wait until Friday morning if you know something in regards to this case?
Well, if other individuals are involved, they may want to try to track down those other individuals that may be out of state by now. Who knows what the reason may be. They may not want to tip off people who are still not accounted for.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to know. It's really, really hard to know what's going on. We could speculate wildly, but obviously something has not passed the smell test on this thing from the day it started.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're supposed to go to work together. That was the original story. Now we know they were trying to run errands. They needed to get a flash drive to somebody.
The story is continuously changing.
They find the car buried, at least covered with dirt, and her purse has not left the house, so those two never left that house in that car.
No,
That's
don't
pretty
leave the
clear.
house without my purse. That's
right. And the flash drive that they were ostensibly taking to take to somebody, Who knows what that's all about? That flash drive remained in the house. It never moved. So every reason that they had to leave on Monday morning never happened.
Exactly. They didn't. They didn't get anything done that day that was on their agenda, and the family members are saying that the last they saw them was Sunday night. So who knows if they actually left the house at 5 a.m. on Monday, which we initially heard.
Yeah,
I'm so
mean,
sorry about
no,
how
I mean,
tangled
and
I
if
am.
if whatever happened, if foul play happened Sunday or Sunday night, that gives you, from the time this is reported, hours to potentially dispose of, dig a hole, whatever you need to do to get rid of evidence and bodies. So who knows what's going on here?
But
it doesn't look good.
No.
I mean,
is it interesting to you to see how much the story has evolved since last Monday, though? Because we've been covering it since day one.
think of how quickly OJ evolved in about a week, from the murder to the slow speed chase.
Yes.
Took about a week.
That's true. No, I didn't.
And I mean, that seemed like warp speed. We had gone from, oh, what happened to poor OJ's wife, to, oh my God, did OJ maybe have something to do with this? To actually what amounted to a confession in the letter, and his goodbye letter, and him ending up in the Bronco with a gun to his head. Those aren't the actions of an innocent guy. So, I mean, this stuff can move really quickly, and why they would call it for Friday, I don't know.
Let me ask you this, because you're not a rookie here. I am. You've been doing this for a long time. This is the first time I've watched, a possible crime scene. This is the first time I've watched perhaps a body being discovered live, or bodies being discovered live via Sky Fox or any sort of news coverage.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it before.
You have?
I've seen the digging, and I'm trying to remember some of the cases, but we've had a couple here. And there have been cases all over the country where they get a tip that a body's there, or they see ground disturbed. Mm-hmm. There have been people who've been quite diabolical about how they do this. They will try to bury a body under the footprint of a swimming pool, under concrete, that's being laid in a backyard. Mm-hmm. They'll do all kinds of what they think are clever things to try to hide a body.
Well, to me, it's almost as if we are watching a Dateline episode unfold
Right.
in slow motion.
Or CSI.
It's just people are being deceptive. I don't know if you were able to catch the interview with the private investigator, but everything was a direct contradiction of what the family said during the press conference. Somebody is lying. And I don't know, maybe it's the PI that just likes having a camera in his face, because he starts the interview by saying, yeah, I've been on every news station this week. That's how he starts the interview. Mm-hmm. So is he being deceptive? Because he's also telling us, well, they could be in Mexico. I heard he has a drug problem. Who throws stuff like that out into the universe?
I don't know. There's a lot of weirdness here.
Absolutely. And I think that is so reckless to throw that out into the universe. And then the family is saying, we didn't hire this guy. We have no relationship with this man. The daughter's posting, I don't respect this person. It's just too many hands in the cookie jar.
Right.
So many conspiracy theories are flying around.
Sure.
And it's because I personally want answers. I want this couple found, and I'm haunted by this story. I'm absolutely haunted by this story.
People they generally just don't disappear like that.
No,
they're supposed to have their routine on Monday morning, and they're both gone, and their car's found a mile away, roughly. Everything points to really a bad outcome here.
And
but remember, when the cops, start saying stuff in public, and saying we're going to hold a press conference on Friday, sometimes this stuff is to sweat the very people they're trying to make crack.
Such a good point. Absolutely.
They will throw stuff out there like, well, we're getting close. We think we know what happened here. They'll throw out little things like that and try to sweat these people to get them to say, oh man, it's up. I got to confess. I'm going to have to come forward. Whatever. There's some gamesmanship that goes on too.
And also, earlier, I don't know if you were in the building or not, MCSO confirmed that they had a person of interest in custody, and it was a male. There had been no arrests made, and we're still waiting to see if an arrest is made.
Yeah, and remember, they bring somebody into custody and maybe just strictly to question them, and to sweat them a little bit.
Man, I would hate to be a person of interest.
Well, when they say person of interest, they always say, now this may not be the guy we actually want to talk to, who we think did this, but this is a person of interest. That's a nice way of saying the ring is closing. And it's closing around you and whoever you're hanging out with, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've seen all this stuff before.
This is a fascinating thing to see unfold right before our eyes, and so quickly. It felt like a lot happened in one day.
You know, when you see this video, what you realize is that you may not get on CSI. Some of this stuff is just dogged work. Look at this guy. He's been digging this hole now for how long?
They start to take turns after a while, too.
Oh, yeah, this is tiring work. This is not glamorous. This is trying to... And why they're digging there, either they got a tip or they saw a disturbance in the ground there that made them concerned. Dirt that had been moved.
Yeah.
Everything looks the same, and then in this one area, the dirt has been moved, and they're thinking, we need to dig in there. We need to figure this out.
Some obvious observations, too.
By the way, look at the tire tracks over here, and I don't know if that's from their guys.
Good
Is that from their guys or somebody else?
He's saying it right here. Look at their tire tracks right here.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So.
And keep in mind,
there's been rain there, by the way, which would
have disturbed it.
So maybe it's these guys who pulled up, but I doubt it. I suspect that whatever traffic has been going on here, who knows?
Yeah, and they what they'll start to do is they will collect the dirt in this wheelbarrow and they take it over. It seems as if they're trying to save that and perhaps test it for something.
Or they may be sifting through it in a finer way. But this is only a week out. If these bodies were disposed of, if that's what we're talking about here, whole bodies would still pretty much be there.
Yes, but in a lot of cases we've seen in instances like this, they try to set them on fire,
right?
And then they'll,
right. That's
so
exactly
we don't
right.
know. We don't know what happened.
Yep.
But I really think that so far this evening, my least favorite piece of evidence or discovery throughout this process has been that interview with the PI. It was very unsettling, and I don't know exactly what the relationship is, but to know that...
Who hired him, do we know?
Tina's brother. So missing Tina, her brother.
Her brother hired the private
And
investigator.
apparently they were friends, but he's on television saying, I think they're dead. And I think that that's a horrible thing to put out there.
I agree, but I think it's a conclusion a lot of people are reaching. And even the family has made statements to that effect, that they've kind of, they're holding out hope, but they think that this is not going to end well. Credit cards haven't been used.
Yeah, that's frightening.
This is not, are they being held for ransom? There's been no ransom call that we know of.
Nope. No, they haven't yet. But also...
The fact that the two of them are missing and their car is found, and unless there's any sign of foul play in that car, then I'm sure they're going over. Then you have to be led to believe that they never vanished in that car. They vanished back at their home or near their home.
Yeah.
And never got in that car. That car is a diversion.
But think about it. If you were in a home with how many, I've heard so many, and I haven't engaged enough. I've been, manning this machine, this giant machine I have here. But I've heard 12, 10, and 14 different people living in that home throughout the interviews.
I know, the whole
tonight.
thing. That's.
I might be looking for a vacay.
Yeah,
I might be trying to get out of Dodge.
But I don't know that you vanish from your job, your
children,
your everything. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah. So. I don't know. Some people are saying that there was tar paper covering the spot where they were digging. So maybe there's tar paper covering it now.
Mm-hmm. It was fascinating to watch this unfold live, though, and
and if there's evidence in there, they got to worry about rain and elements and everything else.
Absolutely, I'm sure
you don't want that pit to fill up with water. That's for sure, right?
Yeah,
so
we
you
are
got
in the season where we don't know what's going to happen.
No, exactly right.
Second.
And that gets at the whole idea of if you find a car and these people were stranded by why would the car be buried or attempt to cover it with dirt? This is not as if they drove their car, got stranded just a mile away and couldn't find their way back and wandered out in the desert and perished. there'd be footprints. But there's been rain. But that doesn't make sense. You're a mile away from home. You're going to figure out a way to get to somebody and get help.
Yeah.
You're not going to wander out in the desert away from civilization.
No, and you're going to take your purse if you're headed anywhere.
Yeah, I
you're
mean, it
gonna
just
bring
doesn't.
your purse.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's
None of
very
it does.
upsetting. But I know that I don't want to keep you because you've got the 9 o'clock show, and it's half an hour until your 9 o'clock show.
Yeah.
So I should.
No, I think you're on it. I think you've got all the salient points here. You know, pretty much what.
I'm anxious. I hope that we have answers
remember,
soon. I feel like it's revving up, and we're going to get them. We're going to.
And again, something. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We don't know what they're looking for in that pit. We don't know. The inference is to anyone watching is that they must be looking for bodies, but maybe it's just evidence that was buried. Maybe it's clothing, right. Maybe it's weapon, maybe it's who knows. So.
And there was some speculation because Tina did receive an not an inheritance.
I know, money.
Yeah, she received money, I believe.
Yes.
Someone close to her recently passed away, so that is also a concern. That.
Yeah, Williams says it all goes back to her purse. So. I don't know.
Well, we're going to have the latest from Nicole at 9.
Oh yeah, we definitely will. Nicole's done a nice job out there. She's been out there all day.
I know. I begged her to do news now before she walked out the door, but I bet you she's on location. I bet.
The one thing I would say is if they hit a body in that pit, they wouldn't just cover it up with tar paper. They'd be removing bodies out of there. I don't think they'd just stop for the night.
No.
That doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely not. No.
I mean, you want to get evidence out as soon as you can. You got to be careful with it, but you don't want to just leave it. So, whatever they hit on, I don't know why. Unless they don't want to disturb the crime scene, which is possible too.
And have you listened to the 911 call from the stepson of Tina?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty haunting. That's another one of those elements where something doesn't feel right. This is going to be an incredible story when we look at all of the puzzle pieces.
Right. Well, it's interesting that they've called a press conference for Friday.
Yes, the sheriff did.
Wow, that's interesting.
So anxious to see what they say there, but this has been a very intense day for this particular case. A lot. I mean, I really thought that this story would just go away and we'd never find out what happened to them, and maybe they would go to Mexico.
You know what's remarkable is how hard it is to make a body disappear. It's not easy.
That's true.
When you think about the David Anthony case, his family disappears going to the airport, and they eventually find when they're digging up a Walmart to get the footing for a Walmart, way out in the West Valley, they find his missing wife, son, and daughter.
And they couldn't,
years later.
They couldn't.
And
find...
he protested and said, "I never did this. I had nothing to do with it." He even wrote me.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he wrote me. He wrote me from prison.
Oh.
After Bruce Dunbar, who did the stories, died. Bruce died probably 5-6 years ago. And this guy, David Anthony, started writing to me because I think he knew Bruce and I were close. So, and he eventually died in prison himself. But, these guys, they protest and say, I didn't do it and blah, blah, blah. But the evidence was overwhelming.
Kaylee Anthony, they didn't find her for forever. It felt like it took so long for them to stumble upon her poor body. It is hard to get rid of a body. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it would be easy to bury a body, but they always seem to reemerge.
Mm-hmm. It's called karma.
Karma, and skeleton is the skeletal remains are pretty hardy.
Yeah.
Animals may scatter them. In this case, it's so new that you're going to find bodies fairly intact if that's where we go with this.
Well, that is just such a scary thought, but I'm going to let you go.
I mean, you're going to get decomposition, but there's still enough there to put the pieces together.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're taking it to a bad place. That's your cue to gear up for the 9 o'clock this evening. So at 9 o'clock we've got a great show. You're going to have an update from Nicole.
We will. Nicole's
on
out
this case.
there. Right.
She's live at the scene, and I know. Are you doing the 10 or Carrie?
Carrie's doing the 10.
Well, I can tell you at 10 we're going to have live visuals from Skyfox on this spot.
Remember, Pinal County sheriffs have said they believe it's foul play.
Absolutely.
Right? So
yes.
What they are saying, I'm not speaking out of turn here, what they are trying to say to the public is, we believe these two are not alive. We think there's been foul play.
But that's a delicate way of saying it. The PI got on TV and was pretty blunt and, oh, and also I heard he has a drug problem. That's rude. These people, this should be a delicate time for this family. There are children that miss their mom and dad.
I don't see this turning out well.
I don't either. Go do your job.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much again to John Hook. He has a very busy evening gearing up for the 9 o'clock, and I appreciate his time sitting down with us and kind of just going over how this very, very, very intense news day has all unfolded before our eyes. That's right, William. Sky Fox at 10, so you're going to have to watch the 10 o'clock news hosted by Carrie Lake this evening. You're going to be able to watch that if you tune in to Channel 10 locally or nationally. You can go to fox10phoenix.com and watch our local television broadcast right on Fox 10 Phoenix. That was just Mike Malarich checking in with me. He asked if I wanted him to sit in with me, and I always do. I always do want him to sit in with me, but I told him I need to stay on this. This is developing so quickly. I feel like we absolutely need to stay on this right now and see what other information we can get before the night ends. Let me see what other videos I have from this evening to share with you about the couple. While we gear up for an update from Nicole, which will be happening in less than half an hour on our 9 o'clock news, let's take a look at what Nicole brought us earlier today. Give me a second to gear that up. This is from the 5 o'clock broadcast, and this is Nicole live on the scene where the search warrant was issued. And she's going to be giving us another update during the 9 o'clock, but this is the 5:30 update.
Now County Sheriff's deputies serve a search warrant on a house in Maricopa. Sky Fox live over the scene, and it's right next to the home where Michael and Tina Correcchia lived. The couple has not been seen now for more than a week.
Well, today, the family of the missing Maricopa couple, they're speaking out about their disappearance.
And just yesterday, investigators say they now suspect foul play in this case.
Fox 10's Nicole Garcia is live in Maricopa with what the family is saying. Nicole, have you learned any new information today?
What we know right now is this is the biggest break in the case so far. Take a look behind me. More than a dozen Pinal County deputies on scene here. They've been serving a search warrant at a property about a block away from where Tina and Mike Correcchia live. They've been here for about an hour now. And this location is about a block away from where the Correcchia's car was found abandoned more than a week ago. Now, Pinal County not releasing many details on exactly what they are looking for right now, only saying that this is, quote, a critical juncture in the investigation. And just a few minutes ago, we did see crime scene investigators arrive here on scene, and usually forensic investigators only come to the scene when there is evidence to collect. So deputies have been here for over an hour now, being tight-lipped about exactly what they're looking for, but they may have found something they're interested in connection to the disappearance of Tina and Mike Correcchia. Now, just some background, the couple reported missing June 22nd, Monday of last week, so it's been 9 days now since they've been missing. Nobody's seen or heard from them since. The family says the couple was scheduled to drive to Mesa last Monday morning for a couple reasons. They say Tina had a doctor appointment and she was also supposed to run an errand for her boss. She was supposed to deliver a flash drive to a person in Mesa on Monday, the day that they were reported missing. Family members say Tina's purse and that flash drive she was supposed to deliver, those were all found inside the home. So obviously that errand was never run, and Tina did not have her purse with her when she went missing along with her husband Mike. Now the car was found abandoned. It was found by family members abandoned about a mile away from where they live, and also about a mile away from where deputies are now serving a search warrant. Now, 1 week after the disappearance, Pinal County detectives declared this a criminal investigation, coming forward saying that they found evidence to believe foul play was involved. Family members spoke today to the media saying they've always believed foul play was involved in the disappearance, and they also say this has been a very emotional time for them.
It's a roller coaster of emotions. You know, we go through the cycle of hope and disappointment, and we're just trying to keep busy and trying to do what we can do to help the sheriffs and get them found.
Now again, this scene is just about a block away from where the Correccias live, and a few moments ago we saw a large group of family members come out here and just kind of look to see what was going on. Again, more than a dozen Pinal County deputies here on scene. They've even got their helicopter up in the air. We saw crime scene investigators arrive here just a few minutes ago, so definitely appears that there's a lot going on this property. We're at the 50,000 block of Papago Road, again, just about a block away from where the Correccias live. Deputies have been on scene here for about an hour, and we're going to keep our eye on what's going on here. And if we learn anything new, we'll bring that to you. Reporting live, south of Maricopa, I'm Nicole Garcia, Fox 10 News.
Thank you, Nicole. We'll check.
That was Nicole's last update, but keep in mind she will be back during the 9 o'clock news on Fox 10 Phoenix to give you an update from the scene. She's still at this scene after dark, and we are going to have some live Skyfox aerials for you of the actual hole that they're digging. That will be at 10. I know we will have those for you at 10. But I don't know if we will have those as early as 9, but at least you will get Nicole Garcia live on the scene. She's done a fantastic job today. In fact, let's go look at her Twitter feed, because she has been all over Twitter giving us an unbelievable idea of what's been going on where she is. Breaking: investigators may have found something while digging. They've stopped. That was an hour ago. She tweeted that. Let's take a look over here. And that was Rob that tweeted that initially, and Nicole retweeted. Rob is one of my favorite photogs here at Fox 10. Breaking: investigators may have found something while digging. They've stopped. And keep in mind, she's there right now, so we are getting, her point of view from the scene. We'll have an even better idea at during the 9 p.m. broadcast. Breaking: PCSO deputies digging for evidence during search of property in missing couple case. Looks like she was on dinner break there. A one-man person of interest taken into custody in connection with missing couple. Command center arrives. Even more armed deputies at home being searched in connection to missing couple. Crime scene investigators arrive at property being searched by PCSO in case of missing couple. She is on it in regards to Twitter. We have to thank her for such great Twitter coverage. Let's listen to that 911 call again by the stepson while we look at these visuals of them digging from earlier, and I will see if I can get any additional information for you from today. But yeah, I've been requested to find a picture of the person of interest. I will try. I don't know if I have I don't know if I have that yet, but I will definitely try. What's the story on the neighbors that live in the house they're digging? Apparently, Danny, the person of interest that the family member named during the press conference is actually a friend of Mike's, one of the victims. So there must be a very deep story if that's in fact the case. While I pop up and hop around the newsroom and see if anybody has any additional information, I'm going to play that 911 phone call for you that was made 12 hours after they allegedly 12 hours, only 12 hours after they went missing. The last that the family said that they knew of them being in the home was 5 a.m. Actually, I'm gonna have to do this really quick. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna have to readjust this. I see another station. I should tune into that station and hear what they say and just copy them.
It's all good. I'm filing a missing persons report. Where?
Getting this prepared. Give me 2 seconds.
West.
Hello, sorry for that. Wait, how can I help you?
It's all good. I'm filing a missing persons report.
Where's the person missing from?
West Mayor Boulevard, 85139.
Mayor Boulevard in the city of Maricopa?
Yeah. Well, it's in Thunderbird.
Right.
Yeah.
The area, I should say, Maricopa.
Yeah.
How old is the person that was missing?
He's 44.
44-year-old. Is this your father? Or?
Yes.
And he's missing since when?
5 o'clock this morning.
Is there a particular reason why you're trying to report him missing?
Because I'm worried about him and I want him. Yeah, their phones are off. You know, they've been gone for 12 hours now, and, you know.
And any weapons or any injuries involved with this that you know of?
No.
What was your name? Last name? Phone number for you, bud?
Yeah.
Okay. Your father, did he leave in any sort of vehicle?
Yeah, he left in a 2008 Honda Accord.
What color?
Grayish. Yeah, dark gray. I have the VIN number too, if you need that.
Hey there, Kinsey. You don't have the actual plate for it, though?
No, I do not.
Go ahead with the VIN then.
The VIN is,
Give me just a second, okay, bud?
okay.
Did he leave with anyone? Sir?
Yep.
Did he leave with anyone?
Yes. He left with his wife.
What's your father's name? What's his date of birth, do you know it? That makes him 44 years old. Is he white, black, or Hispanic?
White.
Do you know what color shirt pants he was wearing last?
No, I do not.
How tall and how much does your father weigh?
He's 5'10", 180 pounds.
What color hair and eyes does he have?
Black hair, blue or brown eyes.
Does he have any visible scars, marks, or tattoos?
No.
Give me just a moment.
Okay.
I'm just going to add this to this call real quick. And is
Yeah.
that your mother or stepmother?
Stepmother.
What's her name? What's her date of
Yeah.
birth? Do you know it?
No, I do not know her date of birth.
And how old is she?
10.
I'm sorry? How old?
Yeah, I think she's 42.
42 years old. She white, black, or
Yeah.
Hispanic?
White.
And what color shirt pants was she wearing? Do you know?
No.
How tall and how much does she weigh?
She's 5'8", 140 pounds.
Okay, and what color hair and eyes does she have?
Blonde hair, brown eyes.
Does she have any visible scars, marks, or tattoos?
No, she does not.
Okay. Alrighty, I do have this in. We're going to get a deputy out to where you are.
Okay.
I'm going to call and talk to you, okay?
Okay.
Sit tight and wait for the deputies. If you get any more new information or anything like that, of course, give us a call back.
Okay, and so you guys gonna send? Because I think he was headed to Chandler. I know that, so I'm sure he's in that general area or somewhere. So, are you guys gonna send out like a memo of the car or?
I'm not certain on what you mean by that.
Why would that be?
Are you guys gonna send out like a description of the car and like to the Chandler Police Department and all the other, police?
That's up to the deputies on how they want to handle this situation, if they want us to get that over or not.
Okay.
They're the kind of the ones that direct all of that, okay?
Alright. Alright.
Thanks, bud.
Yep.
Alright, bye-bye.
Good. Have you feeling that re-election is in the bag?
And for those just joining us, we were actually listening to the 911 call made by Mike's son. And that was approximately 12 hours after they assume the couple initially went missing. What we know tonight is that PCSO confirms a person of interest is in custody. It's a male that's being questioned, but so far there are no arrests. They issued a search warrant earlier today at this, it seems to be a neighbor's, I guess you could call it a neighbor's house, about a mile from where the couple lived, with a lot of other individuals in that house. So that happened earlier today, and then around 6:30 we discovered detectives digging this hole in the backyard. And this has been just this was absolutely fascinating. What we noticed throughout watching this, this was live earlier via Skyfox, was that the detectives kept moving this tent to block our view. Some in the chat room have said that they have seen pictures of the alleged person of interest. I ran across the newsroom and I asked all of the people that I have in-house if they've stumbled upon those images yet, and the answer was no. But what we do know is that PCSO has confirmed that a person of interest is being questioned, is in custody. It's a male. And there was a name given by the family at a press conference earlier today. I don't want to repeat it because I don't want to get in trouble in case that person turns out that person had no association. But a name was given by the family earlier at a press conference. The children held a press conference, or the family held a press conference earlier today at 3 p.m. But we actually had an interview with a PI that claimed to be associated with the case at 2:30 p.m. today, and everything he said contradicted what the family said in their press conference. For instance, the PI said that Mike had a problem with drugs, and he said that he firmly believed that the couple was deceased. So the family said that they never hired a PI, that the PI wasn't associated with them. So there is a lot of questions. After a day of a lot of interesting discoveries, we are left with even more questions. But we did see them digging this hole earlier today. We unfortunately lost Skyfox because of fuel. Skyfox needed to refuel. So we saw them dig the hole. We saw them stop and take photographs. And then we saw a slew of detectives hover over that spot. So a lot of activity today, a lot of activity tonight. Dee said she retweeted the pics, so let me see if I can find those. Oh, wow. Well, another outlet is claiming that this is a person of interest, but I can't confirm that, so I don't know if I should acknowledge it or not. Oh, what the hell. This is the internet. Let's just do it.
It lets everybody know.
This is what another outlet said this is what another outlet said, this is the person of interest, but I can't confirm or deny that. I just see a photo. I'm just sharing. I'm just sharing. Sharing is caring here at Fox 10. We've got a few minutes left. If you missed that interview with the PI, a lot of weird stuff said by that individual. He's actually supposed to come in and do an interview with us tomorrow night at 6:30, but I don't know what the status of that is at this time. Because the family stated they're not associated, and they don't like what he said. You know, they don't like that he's out there saying that he thinks that they're deceased. He doesn't like that they're out there saying, or that he's out there saying, oh, perhaps they're just in Mexico. They find that to be very offensive.
Would this be television?
Yes.
Oh, that was loud. One moment. Let me find this video. Where is it on my... Oh, here it is. This is him talking about how much press he's done this week in regards to this couple. He briefly explains his relationship with Tina's brother.
Cut down to like 10
seconds.
10, 15 seconds.
I've been on everybody's network this past week.
I bet you have.
It's been really tough.
Well, hopefully I won't beat you up too much.
Not anything with hell, but I would prefer Nicole to be here.
Yeah.
It's just that she's got to do what she's got to do.
Yeah,
I understand.
She's got to go down there. First of all, let's start out with the really tough question, like, who are you?
Okay. Let me know when you're ready to record.
I'm on.
Okay. My name is Stan Williams. I'm a private investigator licensed by the state of Arizona. I'm originally from New York.
I can tell.
I was a veteran of 30 years on one of the police departments within New York, one of the transportation police departments. I was a detective for 8 of those 30 years.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Her first question on paper here is who hired you specifically, and why were you hired?
Okay, I was hired by Mike Perry, who is one of Tina's older brothers. And he and I have been friends since 2007. He asked me to help the family investigate the disappearance of his sister and his brother-in-law. And he also asked me to be a news spokesperson for the family as well.
What did that person think about the sheriff's ability to investigate this?
He hasn't really talked to me about the sheriff's or the sheriff's deputies' ability to investigate this. He wanted a perspective from an outsider that would be close to him and share information with him. The Sheriff's Department is not going to do that.
Very good. Does, in your investigation, have you made any conclusions yet? Do you look at one person over another?
I've spoken to a few people, and the people that I've spoken to have led me to believe that foul play is suspected from someone who lives in the house where Tina and Mike lived as well.
Does this make them a family member, the suspect?
They may not be related to Tina or Mike, however, they may be related to the owner of that house.
Okay. You said that earlier when you were on the phone that there were many people there that lived in that house. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
That's correct. I went down to Maricopa on Tuesday, and I was surprised at the large amount of vehicles that were parked in front of the house. I went into the house, and there were people of just about all ages. I found out later on that when Mike and Tina lived there, in addition to them, there were 12 other people who lived in that house. So that immediately became suspicious in my mind. 12 people, and no one saw or knew anything.
For those still with us, I'd like for you to know it is 9 o'clock, but I'm going to stay with you until we can take Nicole Garcia's live shot on the 9 o'clock news with an update on what is happening out of Maricopa. You're currently looking at a frozen screen of Detective or PI Stan Williams, but any minute now we are going to go live to our 9 o'clock broadcast to get an update live from Nicole Garcia.
Or came forward with any information about their disappearance, and they were smoking, I guess, electronic cigarettes, but it made me believe.
And dramatic new video released of an officer-involved shooting that left one person dead and sent 2 cops to the hospital.
The 4th of July can be one of the most stressful holidays for veterans suffering with PTSD. I'm Christy Siefkin, and coming up, I'll tell you about one local sign company that's stepping up to help make the holiday easier for vets and their families.
A new cell phone case that could get you killed. That's what law enforcement officers are warning people about this iPhone case shaped like a gun.
Plus, your eye color could determine if you'll become an alcoholic. We'll talk about it coming up in The Buzz.
Good evening, everyone. More than a week after an Arizona couple went missing, police may have gotten a break in this case.
Earlier this afternoon, Pinal County Sheriff's detectives served a search warrant at a home near where that couple went missing, and tonight they are still at that home. They are digging in the yard, and Fox 10's Nicole Garcia is also there. She joins us live with more. Nicole.
Yeah, guys, the search for Tina and Mike Carreccia has led investigators to the home you see behind me. We're just about a block away from where the Carreccias live. Take a look. Investigators have their lights on, and they plan to work here through the night. Up until about an hour ago, we saw investigators digging in the backyard there, and these SUVs, just about 15 minutes ago, the SUVs you see there, they drove up here, and they're kind of blocking our view of the hole that investigators have dug. But they were digging for about an hour or maybe a couple hours. And we actually saw the hole before these SUVs covered that up. It looked to be a pretty deep hole, looked to be about maybe 5 to 6 feet deep. We did see one investigator standing inside that hole, and we saw that the ground came up to about his shoulders. But again, about an hour ago, investigators just stopped digging. We saw them stop digging. They kind of stood around the hole and looked inside of it and left the scene. So we're not sure at this point if they did indeed find something or exactly why they suddenly stopped digging. But what we do know is that one man who was at this home has been taken into custody. He is being called a person of interest in this case. Now, the Correccias were reported missing on Monday, June 22nd, about 10 days ago, and their car was found abandoned about a block away from the home where deputies are searching right now. Family members tell us that Tina and Mike had planned to drive to Mesa last Monday morning, that Tina had a doctor appointment, and she was also planning to run an errand for her boss. She was supposed to drop off a flash drive to an associate of her boss up in Mesa, but that flash drive never made it there. Her purse and the flash drive were found inside the home, so she didn't take it. Tina didn't take her purse with her the day that she went missing. Now, deputies do believe that the couple may be victims of foul play. As for motive, deputies aren't releasing much information, but family members did say that Tina had recently come into some money through an inheritance, but family members don't believe that that could be a motive for this disappearance. They're still holding out hope that Tina and Mike will be found alive. I did speak with the brother-in-law of Mike Correccia just a few minutes ago to ask him what deputies have told them so far. He says deputies have been updating them on the search. They know that deputies did execute the search warrant, that one person is in custody, but they say they haven't been updated as to the whereabouts of Tina and Mike. And family members still holding out hope tonight that Tina and Mike will be found alive. When I asked the brother-in-law what he thought deputies were digging for here in this yard, he speculated that maybe they have found something or have some information indicating there could be some other type of evidence here, maybe some keys or some cell phones. But again, family members saying they're still holding out hope that Tina and Mike will be found alive. Again, deputies digging here in the backyard of this home. We're just about a block away from where the Correccias live. We saw them dig a pretty deep hole in the backyard, and they stopped digging about an hour ago. These SUVs have pulled up and are kind of blocking our view, but we're told by deputies that they plan to be out here for several more hours. There is a command center set up right here in this backyard, and they plan to keep digging and keep looking and keep searching in this home throughout the night. Reporting live, I'm Nicole Garcia, Fox 10 News.
Thanks, Nicole. Keep it here, Fox 10. Continuing coverage on this story. We'll have the latest updates coming up tonight on Fox 10 News at 10, as well as on our website and social media pages.
A Chandler home is partially destroyed by fire, and tonight police say they have arrested the...
Awesome. Thank you so much to Nicole Garcia for that update. A lot of new developments. I'm overwhelmed with the developments she gave us, that the digging just ceased as of an hour ago. If you stay with Fox 10 until the 10 p.m. hour, you're actually going to see some Skyfox over that hole again. So I actually see Skyfox heading in that direction right now. You can see Skyfox is heading back to that home in Maricopa to give you some aerials of the hole that's being dug right now. I do have some more breaking news for you before I let you go this evening. Several units from the Arizona Department of Public Safety are responding to an incident at a Kingman Department of Corrections prison. Officials with the Department of Corrections say there was an altercation where 6 employees were assaulted. DOC officers are working to place the prison into lockdown and have requested assistance from DPS. This is a developing story, so stay tuned to Fox 10 Phoenix for updates. And that is the last of the breaking news I have for you this evening. Make sure you tune in to the 10 o'clock again for some live footage from that, what appears to be, at this point, a crime scene out of Maricopa. I know we're going to have a lot of news for you tomorrow on this, and hopefully we have some more developments and some additional new details. Thank you so much for staying with me this evening. I'm Kinsey Schofield. Don't forget that you can watch Fox 10 News Now Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And we will be live with you tomorrow morning at 10. Download the app, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We will see you again tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching and staying 6 minutes past the hour with me. Bye.